All right, welcome to my presentation on Hawaiian morphology. First of all, we're going to get into my sources, or my source, Hawaiian Grammar by Samuel H. Elbert and Marika Benapukui. Basically, I had a bunch of other sources at the start of this, but all of them cited right back to this one. Every single one discussed this one in length. So I checked it out, and it was way clear. It was the best out of all of them. Every source I read, best out of all of them, with much clearer diagrams, and frankly, it was just more fun to read. It was less dense. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. I'm going to get started now. So the morphological type of the Hawaiian language is analytic. It is an analytic language. That is like tense, ownership, plurality. All of those are all determined by their own morphemes. There are words that are combined, but all of them can stand alone as a morpheme. So humu nuku nuku apua'a, the famous word that everybody knows, everybody talks about. Humu means triggerfish in Hawaiian. Nuku nuku, we'll also talk about reduplication and like these two morphological processes, that concatenative and non-concatenative. We'll talk about those in a bit. But nuku nuku means blunt in reference to, and in this case in reference to the nose of the triggerfish. And then means like or resembling. Normally means, whatever, we'll talk about that later. I'm getting ahead of myself. Means like or resembling in this combination, in this compound word, and pua'a means pig. So it just means triggerfish with a blunt nose like a pig. And then we have two examples over here. Kali okalani lapaka uila, which means the chill of the sky, flash the lightning. Every single word has a direct translation. So as you can see here and here. All right, moving on. I thought it'd be funny to talk about my name because you guys see it all the time when you're grading my stuff, I think. So I decided to break it down. I have it's all one word here. It's actually not one word in reality. I literally would like break the like character limits of every like computer I would use. So I just had to ignore it. I just had to put it all into one word. Anyways, moving on, we're going to get into it. So ua is a perfect past article. Mau means perpetuation. Ke is the in Hawaiian. Ea means sovereignty, or like to be sovereign. Oka aina means of the land, all direct. And ika pono means to be, to the righteous. To the righteous. So like the direct translation is the sovereignty of the land is perpetuated by righteousness, is my middle name that I have to write out for everything. Anyways, we're moving on. So morphological processes, compounding. So there's a lot of noun this is the noun section in particular. So there are lots of noun compounding in Hawaiian, especially in non-Hawaiianized loan words. By what I mean by that, a Hawaiianized loan word would be, for example, kala, as I discussed in my last presentation, which means collar, is the direct translation for collar. And then like kalipa, which means slipper in Hawaiian. And we can look over here. So we have hua olelo, which means word in Hawaiian, but like the translation is like language. Hua is like fruit, and olelo is like is this language slash like verbal. Ili puakea, ili just means white, and pua means flower, and kea means skin, which just means white person in Hawaiian. Also haole, but that's another terminology. I guess this is in reference to that. And my favorite one was pa'akai, which is over here, which just means salt. And pa'a is solid, and kai is ocean. So yeah, compounded words, but again, they all can stand alone as their own morphemes. They don't necessarily. There is no like pa'a is always a word, and kai is always a word. Like this isn't just like some synthetic thing that you can just attach. You get the point. Anyways, we're going on. We got verb compounding. Verb compounding is rarer, but it's common in specific. It's in a specific variety, and it goes as such. So it's like verb plus that a that we talked about earlier in humu nuku nuku apua'a, and a noun. So this changes the phoneme of a, like with the elongated a, from its original meaning of to slash and. It's to slash and. I guess I'll write and here. I'll change that real quick. That should be that. It should be and to like or similar to, just like denoting a simile in the word. So ayapua'a in this case versus ayakapua'a. I had changed this. This should be like that. All right, so ayapua'a versus ayapua'a. Basically, excuse me for my pronunciation if it isn't clear enough. I'm a little sick, so I'm having trouble with it. But this means to eat like a pig, and this means food of pig. It technically is grammatically incorrect though, so that's why I added this in my last take. I forgot to change it back. Um, yeah. And there are a few verb-verb combinations, but there aren't a lot. So like uhayalo. Sorry. Uhayal holo. It means chase like running in this case. Because means uhai means to like pursue. It's like pursuit or like chasing, and means is the like is the simile denotation, and holo is running. Well, holo holo is running, but holo is like run. Yeah, that's that. My voice is going. I have to speed through this presentation. So, the non-concatenative process of reduplication is here. So it's a huge part of Hawaiian words, and there's reduplication everywhere. As we can see, we have complete reduplication of the first syllable, of all but the first syllable, and double reduplication. That's interesting. So a lot of the time, it means frequentative / like plural action, but it can vary greatly depending on the context of the usage. It can change like all the time. So it doesn't always mean that. So hoe hoe means to paddle continuously, and all these examples are the current like present like being or like doing. But yeah. But there are other versions. So kin kamehameha, for example. So ka is the, meha it means like lonely. So kamehameha means the lonely one. Or it's like the one that is perpetually lonely in this case. It depends how you want to translate it. Cool story behind it. Ask me about it in your spare time if you care or want to. Why we call our king, the king of our islands, the lonely one. Cool stuff. Ask me about it maybe. Sorry to be tangential. It's just I don't know, very invested in my Hawaiian culture. Anyways, we have some of these. Kakali is to wait. Kali is just waiting. And then opio. So opio in this case means juvenile. Is like a descriptor of like being juvenile, and then like opio means to be juvenile or like being juvenile in the moment. And then we have popopono, which is to be righteous. The original morpheme was pono in this case. Why is it popping up like that? Which is shown over here, which is just righteous. So like popopono is to be righteous. This reduplication. And lastly, we have allomorphy in Hawaiian. We have like the difference between ka and ke. So the two articles for the in Hawaiian are ka and ke. But they are used in certain scenarios. So the distinction between the usage of both of them is that ke is phonologically conditioned, and ka is used everywhere else. So ke is only used when the following word starts with ke, with ka, e, a, and o, or ke, e, a, and o, if you use the English counterpart. There are exceptions in which it's lexically conditioned as well, but they're very rare, and it's really, really hard to find them. I couldn't think of any, and I couldn't find any in any books. So two quick examples. Keiki is correct. Ka keiki is incorrect. That just means the child, and this is incorrect. Ka wahine, which means the woman, is correct, and ke wahine is not grammatically correct because it starts with a W. And yeah, that's that. Alright, I apologize for my voice. Here are my sources, or my source, and yeah, that's it for me. Appreciate it.